What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Unwritten podcast with Thomas Malpass. And I'm going to do something new here. Uh, Basically, I ask my guests at the end of every single episode a set of questions. And I'm going to start off with the first one. The first one I ask them is, what is your biggest regret? I ask all my guests this question, and I'm trying to fit it in less than 20 minutes. So the number of answers you'll get just depends on how fast they are. In this episode, I have about I think I have five guests, and they give me their deep and honest answers, which is what I strive for in every podcast. So before we dive into their biggest regrets, subscribe, follow. Let's get into it. See you. What is your biggest regret in life so far?
This is a tough question because I don't really regret things. Basically I take them as they come. If I make a bad decision, it's whatever. I learn from it. You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't, because when you think of regret, you think of like, oh, I wish this wouldn't have happened. You know what I mean? But in my head, I accept everything that happens. So I really don't have any like true regrets. So that's like, it's actually really hard for me to answer that, but I would say I regret not pursuing like the traditional like college, like right out of high school, because I actually had everybody says this in our family, where they like try to say that basically, out of us four kids, I'm the only one that doesn't have a complete college degree. Like, I pretty much, like, I didn't apply to any schools in high school. I just went to like a community college and I flunked out of it. But I regret not pushing myself to my full potential and going to a traditional college, because everyone in the family is like, hey, I'm the smart one. I'm the more intellectual one. I'm like the more logical one, whatever. And I agree with that to a certain extent. I was a bookworm. I was straight A student. I did all the AP classes in high school. Like, I could have, I feel like it's wasted potential. Even though today my mindset is like, a college degree does not define you. Like, there can be people that have a college degree and they partied the entire 4 years, but they have that piece of paper that says that they are, an expert or whatever in whatever field. But, or there can be me, who I self-teach myself. If I'm passionate about something, I will deep dive into it. I will learn. I will be hands-on. I will teach myself. So honestly, I do kind of regret that, for like the one reason is like I wasted my potential. But at the same time, I'm thinking about like, would I have been happy? I would have forced myself to be away, because me being in my social anxiety thing.
Yeah.
If I would have applied to college, got accepted, moved out on a dorm by myself, I probably would have been a million times more miserable, because I was going to be so uncomfortable and have no one else to rely on. And I would have been in that like sink or swim type of like mentality. You know what I mean? I probably would have spiraled at worse, or I would have had to force myself to change. So at the same time, it's like I'm happy where I am, because if I would have done that traditional, went to college, got a degree, became a doctor, became a whatever, I probably wouldn't have met my husband. I probably wouldn't have my two kids right now. Like, so I don't try to dwell on that. But if I had to pick something I regret, that would probably be it. Because it just makes
Pursuing
me feel
your
like
academic potential.
Yeah.
What is your biggest regret in life so far, if you have any?
My biggest regret in life. That is deep. Yeah, I remember at a young age I kind of had this mindset of I don't have any regrets because everything that I
Mm-hmm.
have done has taught me something.
Yeah.
And I I do still echo that sentiment. I do think that, everything that I've done, mistakes that I've made, things that I'm not proud of, they have taught me um, who I am. They've helped me grow. They've helped me build myself. I would say I do have, one regret. I hate to use the word regret because regrets are
Yeah.
you're wishing something didn't happen, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm happy that it happened because of the person that I've become because of it.
Because what you've learned out of it, yeah.
But it was basically along the lines of, doing something for my own benefit, and it was at somebody else's expense. And I looked at it like, well, this person's far enough away from me. I'm not directly related to that person. It's more, through somebody else. But it was like I should have had enough respect, even though I didn't know this person, even though I didn't, have a conversation with this person. I didn't have enough respect for them or myself, truly,
Mm.
to
Yeah.
be able to say, you know what, this isn't right. And so I became involved in something that I, you know,
Felt bad about.
yeah, and I did it at somebody else's expense. And now I know that person has, since moved on and is living a very happy and fulfilling life. But, for me, I at the time, this was many, many years ago, I was much younger, but I think just knowing that I hurt somebody, especially when I
Mm.
believe that my purpose has always been to help people, knowing that I was directly related to and intentionally doing so. My actions were intentional, and that in turn caused, this other person to be hurt by my actions. That would be it would be something, that still it I've processed it, I've moved on from it, I've said, you know what, it happened and it is what it is. But um I mean, I don't think that I should have done the things that I
Was this
did.
before you started meditating?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, I was
Yeah.
18.
Unconscious.
I was just going through the motions and doing what was in my own best interest, and just kind of
Like the
doing,
ego.
yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. And doing it at the expense of somebody else. And it hurt that person. I know it caused that person a lot of pain. I know it caused that person a lot of suffering. And um I it just, yeah, it really rocked me, even to this day still. I mean, I'm just like, yeah,
It hurts.
I,
It
I
hurts
still
you.
I still want to
Yeah.
find that person and apologize,
And
and
say
be like,
sorry.
hey, that was wrong.
Yeah, I know what you
So
mean.
if there's ever a Diane out there listening to this, that's my
You said a what?
I said, if there's ever a Diane out there listening to this, I'm
You're
this is for you.
sorry.
This is for you. But
We'll see.
yeah.
What is
Okay.
your biggest regret in life so far?
Wow, that is my biggest regret. That's a great question. I don't really ever ask myself that because I don't really believe in regret. I just kind of like, oh, well, you decided not to do that, or you decided to do that, and this is who you are now. You know, what's the point of looking at the past when you can change what is now? But in terms of regret, I don't think I have any big major regrets. Maybe. Mm, I would say,
Big major
I mean,
regrets. That's so like contradicting.
what, having big
Big
major
major
regrets?
regrets. Yeah.
I think it's a double, maybe it's a double. Anyway, hmm, I'd say maybe, oh yeah, not taking not taking more college courses in the Navy, or I think, hmm, wasting my time with people who didn't serve me,
And
not setting boundaries.
being like aware of that during it, or
Yeah,
like,
being around people who did not have my best interest in mind, and knowing that I was around people who didn't have my best interest in mind, and wanting to get them to like me, or catering to people who there I had no reason to do that for. I think I think that's probably I think my energy would have been spent better doing something else, but I don't think it's necessary. It's all a learning lesson, you know? How are you
yeah.
going to how are you going to improve unless you experience that in the first place?
No, that's exactly how
And
I feel about like regret and stuff as well.
yeah, yeah, for people who want to get out and pursue the full-time student route when when they separate, uh, definitely doing college any chance you get. Everybody's expendable in the military. So finding time to take at least one class, it's anything, when you get out, getting certificates while you're in that are free through, gosh, what is it, Navy Cool? I don't know if they even use that anymore, but you
Yeah.
can get all these CompTIA certs for free if you don't fail the first exam and that sort of thing. So just taking advantage of a lot of the educational benefits that you get whenever you're in, I think is so important. It matters a little less in the Ivy League sense because they only take so many credits. Yeah, but yeah, just taking advantage of your benefits.
No, my biggest regret, because I just wanted to give like context, because I
Yeah.
did an intro podcast and I asked myself these questions. I just said like just not trying more things that I was either afraid to try, or do things that I could have done but I didn't
Yeah.
because I was either too afraid or whatever.
Hmm.
Those are my big
Actually,
regrets. The first question is, what is your biggest regret in life?
I was, and I'm going to go back to the way I felt about things and why I'm a overdose and suicide survivor. I was pessimistic. I saw things in a dark light a lot of the times. I didn't respect my parents or do a lot of the things my parents wanted me to be involved with because I was Mr. Emo. I was just Mr. Pout Face, Mr. Victim Mentality, Mr. Why me? Why is all this bad stuff happening to me? I'm never going to be anything in this world. Having that mentality took away so much time that I could have had my parents because I no longer have either of them. So that's my biggest regret, is not picking myself up by my bootstraps at a younger age. And that's a big reason why I love what you're doing and why I want to jump into doing things along those lines with my supplement. Making you feel better so that you can be better around others. Because it's infectious. It's infectious whenever you can really do that, especially around people that are down and out. If you are, because if you are uplifting, you could uplift an entire room with a smile. If that confidence, as long as you have that confidence, let alone giving positive advice.
It's that energy, yeah.
Lots of times my mom and dad, oh, let's go see a movie, or oh, you come to one of my shows or whatnot. No, I never wanted to because I wanted to do drugs or, stay in my room and listen to Marilyn Manson. It's just nothing wrong with Manson. I love him, but it's just I was just Mr. Pout Face. Why me? And there's a lot of evil in the world that loves that. They want you to be down. There was this cartoon that I watched when I was a kid from the 70s. I forgot what it's called, but there was an area in the cartoon world called the doldrums. And basically it's an area of the world where you don't think. You just are lazy and you do nothing. And that's exactly what they want. But this kid gets caught up in it and he kind of becomes lethargic and is like doesn't care about anything, and he breaks out of it, thank goodness. But there are so many people that get stuck in the doldrums. You don't ever want to get stuck in the doldrums. Victim mentality does nothing for you. Whenever you think, why me, it does nothing. I mean, you can have regrets and think about the past and be like, oh man, I wish I wouldn't have done that. Ugh. But to just straight up be like, why me? Why does it always happen to me? I mean, that does nothing for you. And it's kind of annoying towards people, even people that really care about you. I was most likely very annoying whenever I was younger. I mean, most of us are as teenagers, especially to adults, but ugh. So long story short, my biggest regret was not picking myself up by my bootstraps at an earlier age and being with people that I should have been around more, which is my parents.
Yeah, because it's time. You never know when you're gonna get that time, and when somebody passes, that's all you have.
Oh yeah.
All you have is the memories of it.
Yeah.
What is your biggest regret in life, if you have any? I know not everybody believes in regrets, but there's at least some regrets that you're like, man.
I think it was getting married. That's my biggest regret, was getting married.
Would you do it again?
Because what, in the situation where I was and with the person,
No, would you
get
well,
married
yeah,
again? Like,
both would you, with the
well, no.
situation? And
If I could go back in time, I'd go slap myself and tell myself not to. And today, I think I would get married again. Honestly, I would. I would definitely take a lot longer to get married and be more. But there's a lot of time. Like, I got married at 25. 34 now. There's a lot of experience and everything, but I wasn't ready to be married, and she's a great woman. She was a great woman. She is a great woman. It was me that messed up big time, and I just should have walked away instead of trying to. I pretty much got married out of guilt, honestly.
really?
Yeah, yeah. Got married out of guilt because I messed up big time, and I tried to make it up to her and fix it. And
Oh, wow.
said we should get married. I was foolish. Anyway, um, yeah, that was probably my biggest regret.
That's it, guys. Thank you for watching to the end. If you made it here, don't forget to subscribe again, give me a follow, and be on the lookout for more of these types of videos, because I have about 60 interviews I've done so far after starting my podcast almost a year ago. So I have a lot more content to create, and a lot more like this, because I have a segment at the end that I ask them 5 different questions. So I'm gonna have a lot of content to be coming, plus new episodes every week of me doing solo episodes of just anything that I'm inspired by that week is my solo episodes, and then I have a guest episode every week, so stay tuned for those. And yeah, I'll see you. Cheers. Have a good one.